Will admitted to me that he had sex with Bryshere Gray, but it was consensual, right?
He said, you know Will raped me. You know Diddy made me suck his penis. You know what's going on. You know Charlie made me suck. Well, I'm going to give you a chapter from the book since I owed you something.
Okay.
In the book, in one of the chapters, they talk about mentorship. So I grabbed my husband. I said, listen, I don't know. I didn't know what happened. Nothing. I was just asked to come.
Is this true?
Yeah. No, I'm gonna let you about to see if it's true from the paperwork. Oh, we telling something that got paperwork involved.
You know, he's surrounded by a whole lot of strength. He's surrounded by a whole lot of love, and all he has to do is add discipline, and he gonna be all right.
It's like Uncle Will, you know, who is best to give you advice, and it's Will Smith, and I'm getting so much good advice.
A lot of stuff is about to come out about Will, Jada, and Charlie Mack. It is going to be unbelievable.
They're both bisexual. They do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills, Bryshere Gray left that house screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed a dog.
It's no secret in Hollywood that Jada hates me because I have a strong relationship with Will, and I do my own thing.
Why don't she hate Dwayne?
I can't answer that question.
Why don't she hate Dwayne Martin?
Well, she's gonna love anybody that treats her like she's a god, right? When you're a narcissist and a sociopath like she is, and I'll get into that.
You know, but when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
No, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and picked out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than...
Hold up. What did we just walk into? Because according to Will Smith's former inner circle confidant, ex-assistant, and once trusted brother figure, Ball, the story being whispered for years is far darker than anyone imagined. He claims Will didn't just mentor Bryshere Gray, he allegedly pressured him into intimate situations, then watched his life unravel afterward. Ball says once Will was finished, Bryshere was iced out, erased from opportunities, and pushed so far to the margins that his current public spiral suddenly makes disturbing sense. And if that wasn't explosive enough, Ball insists that the moment he began opening his mouth, Jada allegedly snapped, issuing threats so serious he feared for his life. Right now, he says they're facing off in court, and according to insiders, the evidence surfacing in that courtroom is beyond ugly. Ball first detonated this bomb during a fiery appearance on Tasha K's platform, and from the moment he spoke, there was no walking it back. The energy was reckless, emotional, and unfiltered, like someone with nothing left to lose. He went straight for Will's jugular, alleging he personally witnessed moments no one was ever meant to see. Ball described an encounter involving Will Smith and Dwayne Martin inside a private dressing room, painting a scene so graphic it stunned listeners into silence. According to him, Will was positioned over furniture while Dwayne moved behind him repeatedly, an image Ball claimed burned into his memory, delivered with the kind of detail that made it clear he meant every word.
Door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne and having anal sex with Will.
Let me process that for a second.
There was a couch, and Will was bent over on the couch, and Dwayne was standing up, pulling him. Murder. It was murder in there.
As you can imagine, what Ball put into the air sent people into absolute shock. Jaws dropped, timelines exploded, and the clip spread like wildfire. The interview didn't just trend, it detonated. And within hours, the response came fast and furious. Less than 9 hours after it went live, Jada allegedly went into full damage control mode, attempting to scare Ball into silence with legal threats. She accused him of scheming, of trying to shake her, and Will down before ever opening his mouth publicly. But if that was meant to shut him up, it did the opposite. Instead of backing down, Ball got angrier, louder, and far more reckless. he returned to Tasha K's platform for round 2 with a vengeance. This time, there was no restraint, no hesitation, no attempt to soften the blow. He went straight for Jada, ripping into her character, and daring her to take him to court if she truly wanted everything exposed. Ball made it clear if lawyers got involved, so would every secret, every detail, every story he kept buried. He practically challenged her to pull the trigger, suggesting that fear, not innocence, was the only thing holding her back. And in that moment, what started as an interview officially became a war.
We put out the interview. All we put out was a clip that went ultra viral. Okay, everybody in the world got this clip. It was trending for days on Twitter. Okay, before the interview comes out, what shocked me is Jada is doing her book promotional for Worthy.
Yes,
she goes to the Breakfast Club and she sits down and they ask her about you, but they can't not ask. Like, it's so huge. Right. And to my surprise, she answers.
It's ridiculous, right? And it's nonsense. And this is a person that tried a money shakedown that didn't work. We're going to take legal action.
The reason Will responded, the reason why Jada responded, because they know it's true. Will's never responded. And they responded in less than 9 hours.
They did. That was a fast response.
That was because he know what I saw in that dressing room. He know other things that I saw. She did all this to try to scare me, but I fear no one but Allah. Jada, listen, in 2 weeks, if you don't sue me in 2 weeks, if Tasha K will have me, I'm back here and I'm dropping evidence, period. You said I extorted you. You said it's a money shakedown. You said a lot of things about me, and you know that the things that you said were untrue. Let's get into a little bit more of it. Jada runs Will, period. Me and her at war. I'm gonna put Will to the side. Will is to the side. Me and Jada, I will say this because I know you're watching. I know Karen Tense is watching.
Who's Karen Tense?
That is her PR person for years.
Okay.
Right? I know they're watching. Jada, you're a bald head liar and you're an addict. Right?
Oh, God.
You told the world that you were going to sue me. As of yet, and you said you're going to do it swift. It's been over 2 weeks. So, Jada, I'm giving you 2 more weeks to sue me. If you don't sue me, this is what's going to happen. All the parties, right? And the people, the men that you hit with dildos, I'm naming names, right? All the salacious stuff that you have done and hurt other people, I'm naming names. You assassinate my character. You say I extort you. Well, extortion is criminal. Like, I would be in jail right now if I...
Anyway, a lot of people are actually buying what Ball is selling, and the reason is simple. It's not every day that someone who claims to have lived inside Will's inner circle steps forward and starts naming names. And let's be real, most people lying don't move like this. When a lawsuit is looming, liars usually disappear, delete posts, and go silent. But not Ball. He didn't flinch. He didn't retreat. Instead, he doubled down and showed up on yet another platform, this time a podcast called Make It Make Sense, with even more fuel to throw on the fire. And everything that came out of his mouth there felt like one long comparison, painting Will as a smaller, Hollywood-polished version of Diddy. According to Ball, Will allegedly has a pattern. He claims young men are drawn in with promises of guidance, opportunity, and mentorship, only for the dynamic to allegedly shift behind closed doors. Ball suggests that while these men are supposedly giving everything, their careers mysteriously go nowhere. He claims once Will is finished, these men are either allegedly handed off to other powerful industry figures or quietly pushed out, erased, and silenced through influence alone. Ball even went as far as to say that Will allegedly admitted to assaulting Bryshere, claiming there's documentation that supports the allegation. And with that statement, the narrative crossed a line, because at that point, it stopped sounding like gossip and started sounding like something far more dangerous.
Be short. When I'm in Chicago, this guy's acting erratic. Like, I mean, crazy. He's getting stopped by the cops. There's male prostitutes involved. There's mental illness involved. There's drug use involved. And I'm really trying to see what happened to this guy. And one day he said, you know what happened. You know that Will R-worded me, or however y'all kind of say it on YouTube. You know that Diddy assaulted me, and you know Charlie Mack made me suck his private part, right? And I'm like, whoa, this was a full admittance. And he's going, and I'm like, I didn't know anything. He's in the corner, balled up, snot, so much sweating and pain that blood is coming from his nose. right? And this is me and him in a conversation. And he was like, please don't tell him. Please don't tell him, right? Will admitted to me that he had sex with Bryshere Gray, but it was consensual, right? So I'm like, okay, so now it's starting to make sense, because I would have never believed that the way this guy's acting, something had to happen. So now, Will told me, and this is going to be in paperwork and everything, right? So when Will told me that he did have sexual intercourse with Bryshere, he said Bryshere did ask him to stop. Will said he completed the act, then stopped. Right then and there, when a person says stop, that means stop. Period. So I do believe that Will Smith assaulted Bryshere Gray. Charlie Mack and Will gets a lawyer for Bryshere, and they try to get me under NDA. I tell Will, I'm not signing. I don't even have an NDA with you. How am I getting an NDA with him? You understand what I'm saying? So I hire a lawyer, right? Mm-hmm. When I hire the lawyer, he comes back and say, listen, this is the best I can do. He said, I'm going to have y'all do a mutual NDA, meaning that Bryshere can't tell people that that Will and Diddy assaulted him. And I want to say the R word, but I know we're on YouTube. Then you can't say nothing about him. So I said, okay, well, as long as he stopped telling people that I know what Will and Diddy did to him. You understand what I'm saying? Period. That was the problem. So there's legal paperwork, and it's all going to be, and you got to follow this case. All that.
And since we're already unpacking the accusations about mentorship being used as a trap, Bryshere Gray becomes impossible to ignore. For years, rumors have circulated that he was caught in the same web, allegedly pulled in by both Will and Diddy under the promise of guidance and opportunity. What makes the story even more disturbing is the claim that Bryshere's own mother, Andrea, wasn't just aware of it, but allegedly played a role behind the scenes. According to the narrative, Bryshere's former Empire manager, Charlie Mack, supposedly received her approval to place Bryshere in the hands of Will and Diddy for so-called career development. At the time, it all sounded logical. Bryshere was chasing success in both acting and music, and being connected to two industry giants felt like the perfect shortcut forward. Even Bryshere himself appeared convinced. Interviews from that era show a young man who truly believed these relationships would elevate him to the next level. No one could have told him then that after those doors closed, his life would allegedly spiral into addiction and public self-destruction, performing for pennies on social media just to survive. If you had painted that future for him back then, he likely would have laughed it off, completely unable to imagine how fast everything would fall apart.
Back, so Charlie was with me every step of the way. First out the limo. So Charlie has been with me, 30 years coming up in the business. So, he's surrounded by a whole lot of strength. He's surrounded by a whole lot of love, and all he has to do is add discipline, and he gonna be all right.
It's like Uncle Will, who is best to give you advice, and it's Will Smith, and I'm getting so much good advice. I got my first acting role, Empire, and it's changing my life, and it's like I'm listening from the greatest, and it's like making me well prepared.
So according to Jaguar Wright, the idea that was ever truly mentoring Bryshere doesn't hold up at all. She insists the last thing Will was offering him was guidance or protection. And when you look at what happened immediately after that relationship ended, the collapse is hard to ignore. Bryshere's life didn't just stall, it allegedly imploded. One of the most glaring examples came in 2022, when he was arrested and later found guilty of aggravated assault involving a woman he was seeing at the time. The situation shocked a lot of people, but it wasn't the first warning sign. Years earlier, in 2020, there had already been a terrifying incident involving his wife, someone most people didn't even know existed until everything spilled out. She reportedly fled to a nearby gas station, desperate and shaken, asking strangers for help. When police got involved, she told them Bryshere had strangled her. Officers attempted to arrest him at his home, but he allegedly refused to come outside, turning the situation into a full standoff. Hours passed as SWAT negotiators worked to get him to surrender peacefully. And when his mugshots were finally released, the public reaction was immediate. People were stunned by how broken, disheveled, and far gone he looked, as if the person they once knew had completely disappeared.
One of the stars of the hit show Empire. Tonight we're seeing hours of new video from his July arrest that ended with his wife flagging down police and telling them the actor had her for hours inside their Goodyear home. The bizarre jailhouse interview lasting for 2 hours as they try to piece together a chaotic.
And as if things couldn't get messier, Jaguar came back again right when all this was happening and gave even more details about what Diddy and Will allegedly put Bryshere through. She claims that the reason Charlie was even able to sell Bryshere to Will is that his mom, Andrea Mayberry, was also in on it.
Talking about Bryshere's mom, I'ma kick you in your in and I'ma go to work North Philly style. Fuck you. And Charlie, you happy now? He's a gay star. Are you happy now, Andy? For a book that didn't sell? I hope that new husband of yours leaves you. And maybe it's time you tell your son why his father is really in jail, his biological father, for all of his life and what you had to do with it. You can see that came to me and begged me for my help. I told her to get the away from Charlie. I did everything that I could do to get Bryshere, to help her get Bryshere out of California into Chicago safe to be ready for filming. She knew she knew what Will did to him. But because of Charlie, see? And Charlie had promised her all kinds of things. And all she had to do was pretend to be a broken down single mom who worked her way up through the ghetto and raised a superstar for television, when the truth is she wasn't nothing but a drug dealer's whore. That's all she ever was. She went from dealer to dealer, and then she snitched on whoever she needed to snitch on until she could get to the bigger bag, until she got with Larry Lair, my friend who raised Bryshere in $1 million home. Your whole book is lies, Andy, and I hope anybody that bought it asks for a refund and demands it comes out of your pocket every time they see your son's gay porn.
Jaguar also claimed that after Cassie filed her lawsuit, Bryshere was also in talks with lawyers to file a lawsuit against Will and Diddy, but he was allegedly threatened and had to pull back from it because his life was in danger. Jaguar even went as far as claiming that there's a secret tape of Justin Bieber, Will, Jaden, Diddy, and Bryshere having a freak-off, and she is one of the few people who has seen it.
Came out so he'll feel too embarrassed to file his lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him. With Jaden and Justin present, that tape exists.
Okay.
I really hope none of that baby oil was used on those kids. That would just be in bad taste. Baby oil on babies.
You can't say that the flavor camp was sponsored by Johnson & Johnson. You just come on.
Starting to sound that way, ain't it?
No.
All that talent, and she let Charlie tune that boy up on, knowing that he was bipolar and had ADHD. What kind of mother would do that to her son? Turn him into a prostitute so you could pretend to be something more than what you are, which is nothing more than a Philly whore. You're a big old and they're making your son out to be, that's for sure. Because he didn't have no choice. He was down by all. I'm sorry. The Bryshere conversation for me is not easy. Because I came to Bilal and I asked Bilal to help me save the kids, and all he was worried about was his book.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Nobody care about these kids. Don't nobody care about these kids.
Now, when it comes to the exact lawsuit she's talking about, people believe it is the $50 million lawsuit against Diddy and Will, which Bryshere was previously reported to be working on. This suit was revealed by a blind item, and it read, "I suspect the soon-to-step forward male victim of sex assault by this A-list mogul will not be the last man to do so. Sean Diddy Combs." Oh, and remember what I said about Bilal having alleged receipts of what happened between Will and Bryshere? Well, I wasn't playing. He said Bryshere told him that will allegedly S8 him, and that Diddy even made him give him mouth action.
Down because he was like, Charlie Mack is not going to be able to be there because him and Charlie had something else going on. I robbed in Chicago for Empire. It's a damn mess. It's no other way to put it. This dude is going.
There have been rumors for a while now that Will has a weird obsession with controlling his kids. Jaguar Wright also made another disturbing allegation, claiming that Jaden moved out of Will's house at 15 years because he could not take it anymore. And in case you're wondering where Jaguar got all this stuff from, she said Ball told her everything.
That your husband was doing things to boys and did stuff to your son and you ain't do shit about it. Bilal told me everything.
They're good friend who.
Bilal told me, Jada. He told me that you knew Will was f***ing your child. Yes, he did. Wonder why he left that out of his Tasha K interview.
In that interview, he said a lot. He said a lot.
He said everything but the thing that was important. That he know that Will Smith, Jaden, he went Bryshere and he went me.
Oh, and remember the Tasha K interview? He went back there again, and this time he was more focused on dragging Jada. He called her a raging sociopath and put her on blast for allegedly allowing Will to do all these things without lifting a finger to stop him.
It's no secret in Hollywood that Jada hates me because I have a strong relationship with Will and I do my own thing.
Why don't she hate Dwayne?
I can't answer that question.
Why don't she hate Dwayne Martin?
Well, she's gonna love anybody that treats her like she's a god, right? When you're a narcissist and a sociopath like she is, and I'll get into that, you want to be.
Anyway, right after this, he filed a $3 million lawsuit against Jada, accusing her of threatening his life after he refused to be silenced by her. He alleges that Jada confronted him in the lobby of the Regency Calabasas Commons in September 2021 and threatened him by telling him that if he continued telling her personal business, he would end up missing or catch a bullet. His lawsuit also claims that Jada demanded that he sign a non-disclosure agreement or else.